Hi, I'm Shola. I'm a public speaking coach based in London, and my business is called Speak Up Like a Diva and Speak Up and Shine. And today I want to talk about how you can be more persuasive when you are public speaking. Now, a lot of us do public speaking, whether it's to promote our business, perhaps we're at work and we're trying to influence colleagues, or perhaps to share a point of view, or even we are working in sales and we're speaking to groups and hoping to make a sale at the end of that. And how can we be more persuasive? It's a question that a client of mine came to me with a while ago. He had booked me for a series of VIP sessions, so we actually spent a very intensive week together, every single day doing several hours of one-to-one coaching. And one of the things that he came to me asking about was how he could, when he's talking to groups, when he's pitching his business, how could he influence things so he'd be more likely to get a favourable answer and people would actually engage his company to take on the work. And one of the things that came up in our discussion, one of the things that I shared with him was the principles of influence. And there's a very well-known book by a guy called Robert, I think it's Cialdini, if he's Italian. I think the Ch is pronounced Ch, Cialdini. I think that's right. Anyway, he wrote a book, and in it he talks about I think 6 main principles that you can use to get people to be persuaded by you, to want to say yes to you, whatever it is that you're positioning to them. And one of those is what we call the principle of commitment. And what is often useful when you're speaking is to get people to make something called micro commitments to you. Now, what do I mean by micro commitments? A micro commitment is just when you're asking somebody a little question that requires them to say that it's easy for them to say yes. So you might say, hey, gosh, it's windy outside, isn't it? Yes. Oh, but it's so warm and cozy in here, isn't it? Yes. Would you like to buy my product? Yes. Okay, so obviously you're not going to be that lacking in subtlety and that blatant, but just to give you an idea, that's what a micro commitment is. It's the little question that gets somebody to say yes, that eventually you follow up with a bigger question, and because they've been saying yes, eventually they say yes to the big question as well. And whether that's to buy your product, because or maybe it's because maybe you'll get them to sign up to be on your list. Would you like to be on my list and get exciting updates from me every month on this topic? Yes, right. And that's ideally if you're there to persuade, to influence, to sell, then ideally that's what you want your audience to do. And typically, as public speakers, we should be eliciting those yes responses through our presentations anyway, because that is typically what gets people on your side as a speaker. That's what gets them living your story as you go through it, so that they're feeling exactly what you felt and they're hearing what you heard and they're just with you all the way. So for example, you might be telling a story about something, and you might, let's say you're talking about your photography, and you might say, hey guys, how many of you take, do a lot of you take photographs with your mobile phone? Yes. Okay, so instantly they've said yes to you. How about if you've got kids? Do you tend to use your mobile phone a lot to take pictures of your kids? Yes. Okay, and it goes on from there. Would you eventually like to buy this product that will help you take even better pictures of your kids with your mobile? A lot of them will end up saying yes, because the momentum's already shifting them in that direction. It can be very potent, this idea of using micro commitments. So, you want to be careful how you wield your power. I remember years ago when I was a struggling graduate student living in Atlanta in the USA, and my car, I had this really old car that fell to bits and I needed to replace it. And I thought, I really don't want to get another old banger. I want to get a car that will do me for a few years. So I went to the Honda dealership and I ended up choosing quite a nice Honda Civic, and it was really to the extent of where my money could go. Like, I was going to be really stretched to pay for this car on my graduate student income. And I remember going into the office and the sales guy was there taking me through the paperwork, and he used this principle of micro commitment to get me to overextend myself and buy the extended warranty for the car. And I remember I'd read beforehand, you do not need to get the extended warranty. This car is this is a good car. It's a good solid car. You won't need it. And so I'd read all that online beforehand. And yet, because this salesman was so good at getting me to answer all these little yes questions and make these micro commitments, he ended up selling me this extended warranty for the car, which I didn't need, which I couldn't afford, and which, as soon as I got out of the parking lot with my car, I was driving along back home like, oh, you complete idiot! Why did you get that? Why? So just to share with you that the principle of using micro commitments is powerful, but with power comes great responsibility. So don't get people to buy your snake oil, which I know my viewers wouldn't be selling snake oil anyway. But yeah, use it sensibly, use it wisely. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. The principles of micro commitment, you want to get people to be saying yes all the way through your presentation if you want to end up getting to the big yes at the end. And if you watch someone like say Tony Robbins, for example, he's renowned for always doing an upsell at the end of his workshops and presentations, but all the way through he's continually getting you to say yes. Well, how does that feel? Did you do that? Yes. 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 And so it just creates this habit. And you can do that too. You don't have to be Tony Robbins, selling out arenas and coaching presidents and things to make that happen. You can try this out as well. So I hope that helps. And that's it from me. But if you are wanting to use speaking to grow your business, then why not check out my Get Clients with Speaking group coaching course. It's got plenty of information there for anybody who wants to not only be a really solid and confident public speaker, but also there are modules that will help you specifically to grow your business with speaking and to promote what you do, to market your products when you're on the stage in a manner that is not like a used car salesman in Atlanta, Georgia, but more like a really classy business owner who is full of value for their audience and attracts clients with great products. So I hope that helps. Take care. Until the next time, I'm Shola Kaye.